Take a deep breath, everybody. Get it out. Get it out, Rex. Oh, wow. I had everything turned on in the... Oh, whoopsies. Oh, whoopsies. Oh, well. No big deal. Get it all out. Get your breaths out. Get a breath in and let it go. How's everybody doing today? Welcome in all the people, all the players of Star Trek Fleet Command. So Wednesdays, live streaming, but also going to be going through and discussing the big hints. First of all, and I know it came out this morning, so I can't expect all of you to have watched it, and that's fine. How many hints did you count in the video this morning with me, myself, and DJ and Eco? How many did y'all count? I'm curious. How many did y'all think you hear, or did you think you heard, rather? I'm curious to see. And Phil, glad you enjoyed the video. So I actually was having a conversation with Eco and DJ that's probably gonna be something that we look at doing at least once a month. So we it was great, and we've done that a couple times before, but not consistently. But seems to be that everybody's enjoying it, and I think DJ is possibly going to use the audio for a podcast too. So we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. But so Mr. Uncreative, I can tell you there's not 1 million, but I can tell you that I dropped 2, but I did them very listen closely like DJ's hint is very obvious. In fact, we're going to talk about that hint a little bit today. But mine, I dropped 2, but I did them subtly. So I'm curious to see who picks up. There's a big difference from the last combo I heard with you, DJ and Eco. Yeah, so the last time you probably heard me, DJ, and Eco was talking in cars on DJ's channel beginning of this month, where we were roasting the hell out of Scopely. And a lot changed from that point that made it a little bit more bearable. Still obviously not perfect, but I am really curious to, of course, get everybody's opinions. You know, for example, we got the Flashpass going on right now. I personally like the Flashpass, but that's because content creators were kind of asked on feedback for the Flashpass. Specifically, DJ helped a lot with this one. So, you know, I've gotten to do a lot of feedback for, well, I'm not gonna say that. Let's just say D Space Nine. I've gotten to put some input on some things. And if y'all don't like certain things, I'm gonna be kind of upset, but we'll see. Mr. Phillips says, I would say turn off the Twitch sounds for recording such videos, hide the money, etc. was distracting. Yeah, I get that. And because this was an impromptu thing, I didn't have those deactivated. If we do this again, like we make it a regular segment, I will deactivate those in the future. But I was thinking about that as I was going through the editing process. But yeah. DJ's was a hint, sound more like directly telling what's coming. Yeah, that's the thing, Mihai. And like, I'm sure Eco, who didn't have his cam on at the moment, was side-eyeing him. But I was like, all right, DJ, we've left the realm of hint, and we've gone full on into telling what's happening. So, but yeah, we have that. Then we've got this Flashpass going on right now. And I truly want to know y'all's idea of the value of the Flashpass, if any. By the way, Laromi, just a quick shout out. Thank you for supporting the channel and signing up to support us monthly here on YouTube. Content creators can't make the work without y'all. I mean, everybody talks about, oh, Scopely support y'all. No, they don't do crap. Not until Scopely pays me a dime when I say they support me. So big shout out to all of y'all. Strike Team Quark. Funny enough, Laromi, you say that. Strike Team Quark will be a more accurate strike team officer, canon-wise, like thematically to Star Trek, than what we had this past week or past month. I just want to point that out. So what you just had this past month is not near as canonically accurate as Strike Team Quark would be. If you've watched DS9, you know what I'm talking about. Barnabas says this Flashpass has no value. And see, I strongly disagree, but I also think that the officers in it is going to be specific to individuals. I believe that this is a very good Flashpass, but only because it's sourcing ROM shards, a few, handful, and giving sourcing for Mackinnon, who's not in the game. Here's the thing though. I'm not a big Mackinnon. I don't think Mackinnon's super needed for me. Like, I don't use her at all, but she is highly, highly requested. So this is the tricky thing with the Flashpass. I guess it comes down to a perception. How do you choose to see the Flashpass? For me, I don't see the Flashpass as a must-have. It's a random addition thrown in. Like, the Flashpass isn't changing the game at all. Like, we're still running Crucible of War. Everything's staying the same. It's just throwing in some extra. So I personally don't look at the Flash Pass as like an issue. I don't look at the Flash Pass as problematic if the officers in it are things I don't need. Like, I feel like the $20 battle pass is like one of those, this is a great thing for your game. The Flash Pass is just like, if it happens to come around and it's valuable to you, get it. If not, it's really no big deal. But that's how I personally view the Flash Pass. I can't account for everybody. Everybody's not going to see it the same way, maybe. But Mackinnon is a good officer if you choose to use her for her ability. So there's that. And she has no sourcing. So I like that she's there because she has no sourcing. And then just beyond that fact, it goes into Galron being hard to source, and where we talked about, remember when Galron came out and I talked about he's really only good once you get him kind of maxed, you get him a couple of tiers in. Well, this is helping do that. And then Rom is the second best base rating officer in the game. We'll cover that in another episode. Mike says, hello Rev, any chance on asking Scopely to give us a better way to get Eclipse Armada tokens? We can buy regular Armada tokens, but hard to come across the Eclipse Armada tokens. What do you mean, Michael? Because the Eclipse Armadas are the easiest ones to source in the game. So I'm kind of confused. Eclipse Armadas are the easiest ones to sort. Source, not sort. Source. So I'm curious what you're meaning, unless you're talking about maybe the research tokens. And then that I would agree on. The research tokens and things like that, the medals, those need better sourcing. Those need better sourcing. The Armada directives are extremely easy to source. Yeah, I mean, you have multiple sourcings of those every single day. Hey, Tenacious G, good to see you. Maybe it means the rares, possibly. But like if you go to your rogue every single day, you can turn this in. Uncommon Eclipse directives, rare Eclipse directives every single day. Turn it in. Just takes your keys for grinding. That's all you got to do. And then on top of that, you have green data to direct it that you can do every single day. You just got to turn it in. So that's one. The only thing that could be a little bit different is that maybe if you're saying the research credit needs better sourcing or the medals need better sourcing. Maybe that's it. Or as Phil says, maybe it's a level thing. Maybe you're too low in level. So why does Twitch get so much love compared to YouTube videos? What do you mean, MoFlo? YouTube puts out more content than Twitch. I put out a video basically every day on YouTube, every single day. You either get a live stream or a video on YouTube every day, with the exception of Saturday. And even some Saturdays, you get videos. So I'm curious why you would say that. But yeah, the Eclipse directives, and I guess this does come back to, okay, what level are you? Maybe that could be on what you're talking about. Live stream wise, because Twitch is a better live stream platform, to be completely honest with you. But I still stream twice a week on YouTube, and I stream 4 times a week on Twitch. Twitch doesn't do static videos. When will we see a calendar of events for this downtime? So Eco kind of went over one a little bit in our live stream that we did, but they haven't released one yet. I'll ping them again. Hey, players are asking about an event calendar for the rest of the week. Can you confirm the events? But I can go ahead and tell you that we're going to run Crucible of War. Faction Hunt is running, and I think you're going to have Apex, and then you start the new arc next week. So it should be your normal run, but normal run. Apex medals for research are hard to come by. I think only during the Eclipse in between's arc. Exactly, King. And that's one. So if they were saying that from Eclipse perspective, I would have been like, okay, yeah, I definitely get you. That needs to improve sourcing for Eclipse. 100%. 100%. The Apex medals are definitely needed. But I find the directives personally are pretty easy to source, but I don't want to feel like I'm just dismissing the argument. I truly want to know where they were coming from, you know? How's all that going to fit in with Incursions this weekend? Run concurrently. So we're going to see. Look, remember, Incursions this weekend is an experiment, and it's an experiment based on player feedback. Players said that they wanted Incursions not during a battle pass and not during the middle of the week. So that's what you're getting. Here's the thing. No matter when Incursions runs, it's going to be interrupting something, okay? If you run Incursions during a battle pass, it's bothering your battle pass events. If you run it between the arcs, you're going to be messing with Apex or something. I mean, you can't run Incursions and not be going concurrently with something else. And that's just the nature of Incursions. So good or bad, love or hate Incursions. I know it's a very divisive topic, but that's just kind of where that's at. And there's not really too many other directions you can take that. I mean, and short answer, they're not getting rid of incursions. It's not going anywhere. I know there's some people who really hate the PvP aspect, but I still feel like PvP is such a small part of this game. I love having incursions as an option, you know, a random 24-hour segment. Lost and Lag says they picked the worst weekend to run incursions. I'll be honest, man. And I've said this. Me nor my family have ever done anything for Labor Day. So I'm sure there are families out there that do. This is just a normal weekend for me. And it always has been. It's just a weekend that happened to give you an extra weekend day, like you get a day off from school or something. But it was never something that you'd go like be out of town for. If anything, I'd have more time. But I know that varies person to person. College football starts this weekend. I can assure you that they don't care. I mean, I get you. And as a former sports journalist with a focus on scouting for the NFL draft, so scouting collegiate players, I get that. A lot of work. You should watch football every Saturday, get the all 22, spend 20, 30 hours going through tape. I get it. But I mean, obviously you can't worry about that. It's like, you know, not releasing content because the World Series is on or something. You're going to keep releasing content. Scott says, which means why do we get a flash pass? It's all good though. As you say, it's the best time. So Scott, to answer that question, the reason that we have a flash pass, because when we got the flash pass before, we talked about it being something that they had planned to run between arcs when there was a 2-week break to kind of fill in. Short answer is, honestly, players said the flash pass was so good the first time they wanted more of it. That's the honest to God truth. Like, it's not Scopely trying to get more money. People literally said in mass, the flash pass was great. We love this idea. We love a cheaper value and we love officer sourcing. So they ran it again. Now, if this one doesn't go well, then maybe they go back to doing the every 2 weeks thing, or when there's a 2-week break, I'm sorry. But that's just kind of how it was set up. And, you know, they asked people about, you know, what officers would you like to see in it? And they went with hard to source officers, Mackinnon being hard to source, Ron being hard to source, and Gowron being an officer that needs high sourcing to be effective. And that was just the paradigm behind that. Nation says the first fast pass is equal great. This one is meh. And look, I do think it's going to vary person to person. I'll be honest. Harrison being in the last one is meh to me because Harrison is becoming more and more meh by the month. Have y'all been noticing that? Like, Harrison became more meh when TOS Ahura came out, and Harrison is super meh now that Strange Tuna's out. So it's all opinion, and I'm good with either one. I actually kind of like this one a little bit more, but I get that people don't. I really 100% do. David says next arc starting this coming Tuesday. Correct. Yeah. Speaking of hard to source, are we getting more transporter shard officers soon? So we just had a transporter pattern officer update a couple months ago. There is not another one planned super soon that I'm aware of. However, there is officer sourcing updates coming very soon. And if you watched today's video where myself, DJ, and Eco were discussing not only Strange New Worlds, but the future of the game and DS9 and stuff like that, there's officer sourcing updates coming. Now, DJ basically gave it away. Like, that dude was just straight up verbatim with it. But it is something that I had the opportunity to talk to the dev team about a month ago when we were in Strange New Worlds Part 2. And I'll be honest, I like it. I really do. Now, I do have to see how it rolls out, like, in-game. We all know how this goes, y'all. It can sound fantastic, but when it gets in the game, it's terrible. That could happen. But legitimately, I am looking forward to it. And I think it's going to be a great way of sourcing some hard to source officers that's going to be available to everybody. So it's an immediate win. So I will be talking about that pretty heavily next week. You'll see it when it drops, when the content drops, and we'll go into full details with it. And then we'll be able to get your opinion. Ian says, I think the Flash Pass is too costly. It's pretty much half the price of a normal ARC Pass, and that's loaded with much more stuff. So Ian, I would say that value-wise, according to Scopely's values, it's $10 worth. And why it's $10 worth is because it's focusing on officers. Officers and the directives make it $10 worth compared to the other Battle Pass. So believe it or not, when it comes to things like uncommons and everything, they do not value uncommons near as high as they do officers. So this, in terms of if you took everything that Scopely has and you broke it down in a dollar value, this is $10. I'm not saying that that's justified or not justified. Y'all can argue whether prices are too high or whatever, but value wise, it's kind of like we talked about the Treasury. The Treasury is $150 on a $100 pack. This is $10 worth. Yeah, and then Ace bringing in the independent credits, which if you go to all the milestones, you get Syndicate XP down here, officers, more officers, then here's your Armada directives, there's your Syndicate XP, and then there's your Armada directives. You will get a rare Armada, crap ton of officers. And it's, if you don't like the officers, it goes back to what I said before, because I'm not here to push this Flash Pass. I truly believe the Flash Pass should only be gotten if you need the officers and you see value. It should be one of those things that you skip if it doesn't have value to you. Do not feel pressured to buy everything in this game. Please do not feel pressured to buy everything in this game. Please do not feel pressured to buy everything in this game. The Flash Pass was meant to just be a little bit extra. So please don't feel pressured. If it has value to in that month, do it in that month. By the way, I'm excited. Look right here. Mayflower scrapping, finishing in an hour. The Admiral Pegasus says it looks to be an awesome Flash Pass, and it's going to vary based on what you value certain officers at. I don't use Mackinnon, no value. I don't use Galron, no value. I've already got Rom. I don't really care about tearing him up, no value. However, if I was a lower level player, that would actually have a lot of value to me. It varies on where you're at in the game. Candace says, I'm a free-to-play player for the most part, considering spending some minor money. Should I prioritize a battle pass at some point or that second research slot? So Kenneth, it comes down to how much money you're willing to spend. You're going to want to have this. You see, I've got all 3 researchers and they're always going. The best thing that you can do long-term is to get another research slot if you're willing to spend on that. I would really point you to the fact that a battle pass is one of the most valuable things in the game and will greatly accelerate your growth as a player. But in terms of what's the most valuable long-term, this. You are going to hit researches that cost you 100 days, 150 days, 200 days. You will want it. Just the truth. If that's your options and you're willing to spend, then you want to get the things that are permanent. Things that are permanent are the builder, second researcher, the third researcher, even an argument for Dry Dock G. But this comes down to what you're willing to do. You can do all things in this game without doing that. But I mean, I've got 3 research slots and I still struggle to keep up in research. Like I'm always telling myself like, yo, Rev, stop sitting on researches, speed them up and get to moving. Get to moving. That's actually what I'm doing right now. Get to moving. And we'll pick some 3 new researches. And that's just the nature of this game is there's so many, there's thousands of researches. So you have to get through all of them. What's the value of the epic PvP officer special? I know the guaranteed epic is sketch, but there are mats and badges in it too. So James, how about we bring it up? I do believe that one's in my store at the moment. By the way, I gotta give a very quick thank you. Hold on. I want to make sure I say that. Thank you, Mihai. They just donated $10 to the medical expense fund that I've got going on right now. Thank you for that. And it's greatly appreciated. Why is that hanging low? There you go. Thank you. I'll add it to that in just a second. Thank you. I appreciate that. As far as the pack goes, since y'all want to ask the pack value, again, this is not me saying you need to buy this pack. This is simply answering a question that was asked. Short answer, simple answer. No. Do I care for these packs? I don't. Now, DJ sometimes disagrees with this. I would say that for $100, for me, it's a quality amount of uncommon and everything. But I'll tell you what, $100 gets me better value, the Treasury. My Treasury is better than this. For $100, is it worth it? Yes. Scopely terms, it's worth it. I mean, it's giving you a little bit more than $100 worth of stuff. But because I've always hated the RNG aspect of these packs. Personal opinion. This is why I hate these packs. Personal opinion. I hate that it's RNG. I hate that I could end up with Sela. I hate that I can end up with Sela. I just do. I hate that I can't choose my officer there. And as Circuit brings up, if I was to go look at the September Elite Pack, all right, so we talked about the value in what was in there. you know, the value in terms of the uncommons and things like that. September pack's got a hell of a lot more uncommon. If you add up, I'm going to end up with right around 10,000 uncommon 4-star from this pack. 10,000 versus what, 4,000 with that pack. So then it comes down to, is that officer worth it to you, that full unlock? And guess what? I guess if you didn't have Honor Guard Wharf and you got Honor Guard Wharf plus the uncommons, plus the badges, then you know what? Maybe it's worth it. But because it's RNG, for me, it's not. And that's how you have to value it. What are you going for when you're looking in that pack? For me, the bottlenecks in this game is not Honor Guard Wharf. Honor Guard Wharf is not my bottleneck. None of those officers are my bottleneck. This is my bottleneck. This is what I struggle to get every day. This is what I need. So that's where I'm at with that personally. But that doesn't make it right or wrong. That's just where I see it. That's just where I see it. Hold on. I gotta add this in real quick because I don't want to have Mihai not add up on the screen. Thank you, Mihai. I really do appreciate this. I seriously do. I mean, life can get crazy, and I appreciate you supporting. It means the world to me. Thank you for donating. And hey, Hellscythe, good to see you. But looking at that pack with the 3 weapons, again, for me personally, like if I'm looking at value, yes, all 3 of those weapon skins add up. I have all 3 of them, but I got all 3 of them through the event store. So I've got all of them and I can take advantage of them, but I got them through the event store. So I didn't spend any money on them. You can spend $100 and that's fine, but these are things that are becoming regular in event stores, and they're things that you can pick up over time. And I'm a very frugal person. Let me just say this. If you're listening to Rev and you've got $100 to blow it. I'll tell you that I struggle with that, because at the end of the day, I'm still one of those people that struggles to spend $20. I struggle to spend $100. Like I look at it and I go, this has got to be insane for me. And that's why I push the battle pass, and why I push the treasury, and why I like the elite daily monthlies, but why I look at officer packs and I go, because in my head, I can't escape this $100 that I just got Sela with. I could have fed I could have taken the kids out to eat twice. I struggle with it. But that's my own mental thing. If you don't have that, I can tell you that value-wise, that officer pack, Scopely value is a decent value because it has a lot of uncommons with an officer in it. But I struggle to escape that mentality. So, yeah. The Vault of Latinum needs to be addressed. So, Mr. Gidget, the Vault of Latinum there it's intentional. There's a reason it's there. I've explained it on stream. I mean, it's there for a reason. People buy that pack? Oh yeah, dude. I can name 3 people that I know that bought that pack. Yeah, it's there. I know one person who bought it by accident. I know a couple people who bought it intentionally out of curiosity. And I'll admit, I have not reached a level of wealth where I can blow $100 out of curiosity. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Let's see. That's a level of gambling that I just have never come to. Yeah, but that pack is there intentionally. It's for a reason. Mike says, important question. How does Scopely sell a Latinum pack that only has 2,000 Latinum or for 139 Canadian? Why would I pay that much? All right, so I guess I need to explain why it's there. So the reason the Vault of Latinum pack exists is to set a baseline value. This is because you have all these different packs in the game. And as a company, one thing that you have to worry about from other players and even competitors and scammers are mass refunds. And this doesn't mean, to be honest, they're not worried about Joe Schmo refunding one pack. They're worried about these big scams that'll come in that'll try to refund 30, 40 grand worth. And they'll use the excuse of no value. Like, I didn't get value in what I bought, or they changed the value in what I bought. This sets a baseline from the beginning of the game. That way, if you went to Google and said they changed the value of my pack, they could go, no, it's still a hell of a lot better than this. It sets a baseline. And this is not new. This is actually something that happens all over the place. You just gotta know not to buy it, okay? Simple as that, don't buy it. And that way, when you have sales and when you have all these other things or sales, it's because that set the baseline. And that is why it exists. Don't buy it. It doesn't get better. It doesn't scale. The only thing that you would get from it that has any value are multi-phasic credits. And that's if you're on a PC client, but you can get those from literally any other pack. Do not buy it. Don't be curious. Don't be like, well, I wonder if. Don't wonder if. Don't. Stop. You're thinking about it. Stop it. Can you break down what you personally decided to go over and why for last event store? Yeah. So I ended up doing the 3 projectile skins I didn't have: the temporal torpedo, the positron phaser, and the refractive beam. I got those because those are permanent researches, essentially. Like, you get them and that's a 10% damage bonus, a 20% damage bonus to armadas, and a 20% piercing buff forever. Full stop. Done. That's why it's there. I love permanent stuff. Permanent stuff for forever. Officers are forever. Research is forever. Those are researches. That's why I got them. And then I invested the rest into officers. You have to apply them, or is it just getting them is enough? You want to apply them just because they look really freaking pretty. But once you unlock them, you're good to go. Circuit officers are still forever. Officers are still forever. It's not like Marcus doesn't work anymore. You also get Syndicate XP for what? Oh, yes. I also get, thank you, Wolf, for reminding me. I also got Syndicate XP because I took my Syndicate to level 15. The reason I wanted to go to level 15 was to get the daily goal reward improvement for my faction credits and my faction reputation. I wanted that improvement so that I could get better grinding results. Hey, Maxheimer, good to see you. But that's what I chose to do, and I typically always lean towards permanent stuff. My Syndicate XP is a permanent buff. My projectile skins are permanent buffs. I go after permanent things. Is the Trinity still a must after the strike team and their equivalents are out? In my opinion, yes. The Trinity is still a must. Is it the best crew in the game for fighting certain ships? No, that's going to be the new strike team set. But they're still very good and very important. Yes. We'll say thank you for all the content. Well, thank you, Geeky Jayhawk. I appreciate that. I am a huge proponent of community, and I don't know, I can't speak for other content creators, but I am very passionate about this community and how they support me and how they support my family. I don't know how many of y'all are in our captain's quarters, but just a real quick aside, many of you are aware that we had the house fund. Y'all remember the house fund that we did? I got my kids, y'all helped pay for a down payment on a house. I'm paying off a house now, and that never stops. But my kids are now going to grow up in a better place. That wall is up. That wall is up. So if you haven't seen it yet, we'll have a big walkthrough video, but the big graphic is on the wall, and I think it looks incredible. Shout out again to Blue Dog Graphics, who will get huge shout outs when I do the fully edited video. Regarding the weapon refit, how do we know that the refit is still active even though we've selected a different refit? Math. Just running the math. Easy to tell. Now you got to go manually do the math, but math. You and DJ are the best voices for the community by far. Well, thank you, Peto. That's very kind of you. My goal is to just be the best voice that I can be, and I'm a firm believer in supporting other content creators. And I'm personally, and I can't reveal the details yet, but I've been personally working on redesigning the content creation program for Scopely so that it can be more inclusive and be better, honestly. And I'll have more details about that when it's actually finished. I'm very excited. I worked very hard on that, and hopefully it encourages more people to jump in, because it's not just about Rev, honestly. It's not just Rev. Everybody can help out. Phil says, I've never stepped into this live stream. It's pretty great. Not sure I can convince my wife why it's okay to watch a stream of a guy talk about video games, but hey, it's on my lunch break. Say this. Explain it to her. Does she like reality TV? Think of it like this is you watching The View, except The View interacts with you. Bam. Instead of them talking about Kardashians and the political thing of the day, we're talking video games, except I actually acknowledge you exist. There's the difference. Boom! Drop it on her. And if she doesn't watch The View, well, I'll have to think up another analogy at another time. That's just off the top of my head. Oh, gosh. Get her to watch a Twitch stream? Yeah, for sure. For sure. Comparison to The View. I know, I just did that. I'm Whoopi Goldberg. I'm Whoopi. Eco let part of that program slip on your Twitch stream the other night. He did, and that's fine. It's nothing that really slips. I'm happy about it. Kardashians over the Kardashians. I agree. I 100% agree with you. I 100% agree with you. Better Whoopi than Oprah. I mean, look, I don't care who y'all like. I was making a point. I'm not Joy Behar. I don't really know Joy Behar. So. All right, man. He already said what he said on his podcast. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It definitely sounds like it'll be good for the community. It's rolled out right. I look forward to it. Yeah. I mean, here's the big thing. And if anybody follows the Twitch content, y'all know this. I believe the more content creators you have, the better this game becomes. So that's why I'm not worried about me being the biggest or the best. If we had a team of 30 elite content creators, that's better than just me and DJ being at the tippy top and looking down at all the peasants going, ha, 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 ha. Look at the players. The game will last longer. The community will be engaged more. The community has more fun. I'm a strong believer. And DJ is too, by the way. I'm not just preaching this selfishly. DJ believes the same thing. So I can dance better than any other content creator. I will say that. I can dance better than all of them. I missed the discussion on the CC changes. Can you talk about it? You talking about content creator changes? I can't go into the program yet. No, I can't discuss the program yet. But I will have more information when it is finalized, and then I can. Still baby YouTuber? Pegasus. Doesn't matter if you're a baby or big dog. You're important. Everybody's voice is important. It's something I really try to get across to y'all. And FYI, for this Incursions coming up, please go ahead and get ready. I need y'all to mentally prepare for this. We will be doing another set of surveys. Like we're going to do another Incursion survey, and we're going to do another presentation. So I'm going to need y'all's help. I'm letting y'all know now. We're going to need y'all throughout the week of Incursions after it ends. We need to get another 6,000 people to respond to the Incursion survey. We're going to do it very similar to how we did it the last time. So I'm going to need y'all's help pushing the feedback. And we're going to hopefully see a better run of Incursions this time. I can't promise that, but that's the hope. And they did show they have made several changes on Incursions based on y'all's feedback already. So hopefully that's how it looks like in the future. Just spend my earned Romulan credits on the Valdor cloak now or wait for 2 weeks. I'll say this, Maxenheimer, if you're going to spend your credits on a cloak, do it when we have a cloaking event, because that immediately finishes the cloaking event. Remember that, you know, that cloaking event that everybody complains is essentially impossible to complete without getting a cloak? Yeah, you want to wait for that. Wait for that, and then do it. And then do it. Can't wait for Strike Team Miles O'Brien. I'm thinking an OP piercing ability playfully named for throwing darts. I mean, what was it in Deep Space Nine? He was in over 200 different battles. Like, he was actually a pretty storied war veteran. That makes sense. Makes a hell of a lot more sense than Strike Team Ortega. DJ did hint to save your faction credits. He did. He did. Now, he was hinting at that for officer sourcing, not cloaking, just to be clear. Check out my video this morning if y'all want more details, because I know not everybody likes Twitch, and that's fine. Not everybody likes the Twitch stream, and I am 100% okay with that. I don't expect everybody to like the Twitch stream. I really don't want to waste uncommons right now. Let's do this. Has there been any discussion or feedback to Scopely about sparring within an alliance, testing out ship's crews? So it has been brought up before, Phil. I don't know of any work to make that happen, but I think it's a great idea. I think it'd be great to be able to just have free-for-all battles that didn't cost players anything, to learn crews and study things more. So, how am I going to get the one strange tuna shard I'm missing? As of now, there is no sourcing plan that has been released. And you notice over in the Mantis, they changed the graphic to no longer include strange New World Strike Team officers. Not sure how many people noticed that, but Strike Team officers are no longer there. Yeah, we'll see what that means. We'll see what it means. Yeah, we'll see. O'Brien was an engineer and Wouldn't be surprised if he's some sort of station officer. Yeah. Now, it's just a visual change, by the way. They weren't in there. Like, they weren't secretly here. It's just a visual change. But I'm curious what that visual change means. You know what I mean? We'll see. I'm very hopeful that Strike Team ends up in the Mantis refinery as permanent sourcing. But there's also, and DJ, by the way, y'all would be very happy to know, if y'all did not attend DJ's Twitch stream last night, DJ finally is on board with us that the Strike Team officers are broken, as in they're too strong, and that they broke the meta. He finally agrees. He finally agrees. It took him learning how Strike Team La'an works, but he finally agrees with us, everybody. He finally agrees. Now we just got to push to get them improved. But I mean, I told him that. Like, he's been told. I guess he just needed to see it with his own eyes. And because broken's not the word. They work exactly how they were designed to do. And that's why I don't like to use the word broken. They're working perfectly. Like, of all the things that Scopely released that works well, of course, this is what works well. They're doing exactly what they're designed to do. So they're not broken, but they definitely destroyed the meta. And that I just do not like. This is why I have a problem with it. Finally understood Strike Team Leon. Finally. Hopefully O'Brien's ability will be to assist obtaining transporter patterns. That is a very unique idea. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad idea at all. I think it's unique because that's different than anything else that we've ever had as an officer ability. And I like things that are outside the box. I think that's really dope. Sam says, I love how you scheduled this morning's video in advance. You should set them up as premieres in the future because YouTube adds a live chat room component. So I've done that a couple times, Sam, and I've thought about doing it more. It's, this one was a little bit easier because I actually had the video already. I just need to go through the editing process. And actually I was up till 2:30 in the morning doing it, and I decided to do it like that. But you know what, I've thought about it, and that it just depends. Some of the content I make day of. Some of the content I can make ahead of time. So I was testing out to see how it worked, to be honest with you. And I'm glad you enjoyed it, Sam. Glad you enjoyed it. More live streams with other creators. In Mac, that is completely on other creators. Like, I can't control their schedules. You know, it's one of the reasons that me and DJ can do stuff at night, like on Twitch, and while some of y'all miss it, is because he's got a job and he's got a family. So it's tough. But yeah. You thought Strange Tuna was the meta breaker? She is, but also Strike Team La'an is in some ways better. It just depends on what you're doing. Depends on what you're doing. It's an interesting idea to have officers that have permanent effects regardless of whether they're on a ship, like more transporter patterns or boost to a faction rep or something. I do really love that idea, Sabroteur. I'm not sure how that would work. And that's why I was so interested when somebody brought it up, is I'm not sure how it would work because it'd have to essentially be a research. And how would you apply that to an officer? But the idea sounds really freaking cool. You basically would give an officer that has a research ability. And I think it's a really neat idea. I don't know if it's something that they would do, but it's definitely worth something that you bring up to them in discussion, I think. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. We got a question here I want to answer. Do you think the current Elite Flashpass pack is worth it? $100. So I'm gonna go ahead and just keep my standard opinion. Y'all know that I do not, and there it is. I do not believe the Elite Battle Pass stuff is ever worth it. This is not worth it to me, nor is the $100 Battle Pass. DJ disagrees, and I always want to give multiple perspectives. DJ disagrees. DJ loves the $100 Battle Pass pack. I hate it. Again, why? I just don't see the point in spending $100 for a third of an officer and a rare and an uncommon. That's not value to me. I don't value officers that high monetarily. I do not. I've never looked at Picard and went, oh, I want to spend $1,800 on him. Never once. Now, uncommons, I have spent money to get uncommons. I have spent money to get uncommons. So these don't have value to me. I don't see them as value. I don't see them as value to the average player. Even though I'm a firm believer in officers are forever, getting a third of an officer is not forever. That's not really worth it. And I guess if it pushes you over the ledge, like it helps you unlock somebody, cool. But that's why I've never been big on them. That's why I've never been big on them. I wonder how long until they start making below decks officers busted and OP like Strike Team. I really can't answer that. What if they put an officer slot on the shuttle bay that gave different bonuses based on the officer, like O'Brien giving transporter patterns from away teams? Also, a very interesting thought, Danny. Like, I think that there's some really good ideas being pushed through here. And hopefully, I don't know if we have one of our moderators in the chat, but if y'all can like jot those down, maybe we can try to discuss them afterwards. And I am still waiting, by the way, on them to get back to me about the calendar for this week, but I'm pretty sure the calendar is just your generic calendar. You got the Flashpass, you got Cal, you'll have Faction Hunt, etc. Hope we can appoint officers to the station with the DS9 arc. Well, that's assuming that like you're going to get an individual station. And I don't know if you are. We'll see. But I would say that officers on stations has been suggested a lot in the past. A lot in the past. They do Rev Deuce and DJ avatars. I would love that idea. I got told no. It'd be cool if that changed in the future though. What's with the new pip near the avatar? Oh, Jeremiah, because we had to have more pips. Y'all specifically asked for more pips, didn't you? I'm pretty sure Scopely heard y'all ask for more pips. So we've got more pips. Now if you got a new frame or a new avatar, it just sits there and lets you know to go click them. And out of spite, I'm not clicking them. Out of spite, I'm not clicking them. Sit on a throne of lies. Man, that's obviously what Scopely heard, right? More pips. Alliance star bases, probably not going to be individual officers on star bases. Alliance star bases, man, that'd be really cool if that came out with Deep Space Nine, wouldn't it? Think of the potential. Like, what could you do with Alliance star bases in Deep Space Nine? Like, what could you even do? That's an interesting thought. Interesting thought. Does it go away if you click them? I'm not going to risk it because now it looks like Worf has a brilliant idea while he's drinking tea. So it's just actually become part of my aesthetic. It's become part of my aesthetic. Here, actually, I'll take down my health bar so you can see it. See? Doesn't it look like my man has got a brilliant idea as he's drinking tea? Isn't that a brilliant idea? Look at it. That's why I'm keeping it. I don't want it to go away. Like as I said, in spite, I'm keeping it up. How about they need to be upgraded with all those resources you donate to the Alliance? So an Alliance starbase that needs upgrades, then obviously would give some form of bonus or something. Interesting. Alliance starbases mentioned April on the roadmap. I strongly believe they're coming shortly. Yeah, they were on the roadmap. And then the question becomes, what could they do? That's spill the tea. I will spill the tea on Tuesday, the 6th. Which, by the way, I know, look, y'all, some people complain that Rev asked for things. Shameless plug, the 6th, my wedding anniversary. Y'all want to send stuff? Also, I got to check on the gift that I ordered because it hasn't come in yet and I don't want to get in trouble. Anybody else out there scared of getting in trouble? Anybody else scared of getting in trouble? I ordered something and it has not come in yet. I'm just sitting here going like, oh crap. It's getting close. It's getting close. Where's it at? Where's it at? Okay, but yeah, my anniversary is on the 6th, which is going to be very interesting because this anniversary, and it's pretty amazing. This is just real life Rev talking. The 6th will be 13 years and 10 years married. So it's the 10-year wedding anniversary and 13 years together. Long time. Long time. Rev activates backup plan. Yeah, backup plan is like run to the jewelry store. I don't know. I don't know what the backup plan is. I don't know what the backup plan is. If y'all are curious, I can show y'all what I ordered in the captain's quarters of my Discord if y'all are truly curious. 25 years are like, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. 24, Daniel, congratulations. That's huge. You're married too. There will always be trouble. My wife must be bored because resistance is futile. JT, that is a great Trekkie dad joke. We love to hear it. We love Trekkie dad jokes. Fantastic. A trip to Disney World? Mine would probably like that, but having 3 kids and one of them being a newborn that's 2 months old is quite difficult. Edible arrangement seems like that's something for me. And usually when you get an anniversary gift for you, it doesn't go that well. Cerritos event not scoring or delayed scoring? Delayed, Wicked. It is scoring for me. I've been tracking it, but it has had some delays in scoring. Scope, have anything planned for Star Trek Day? Okay, so honest answer, I don't know. I had actually talked to them about it and they were planning something, but then I never got anything definite. So now I'm not sure. They had told me they were planning something because, and for those that don't know, it's September 8th, which would be next Friday. They were planning something, but then I never heard anything back. So I still have time to follow up on that. And let me add it to my notes because I literally have a list of 11 things that I need to go over with them. Oh my goodness. That's what happens when we wait so long. Best dad joke ever. What bee produces milk? Boobies. Nice. That is fantastic. All right, hold on. Let's get back to Star Trek Fleet Debate content. We all get items in our inventory that are useless, can't use them. Could Scopely have a sell feature or trade feature for those items? So Michael, it has been something that's been discussed recently. Eco himself is actually getting really on board with that idea because he's noticing the problem. He's only been playing the game 3 months. The thing is, and we talked about this in the Monday show, when you create these action items that you want the game to work on, be cognizant of the earliest you'll see a new idea in the game is generally about 6 months away. Generally about 6 months away. For like a mechanic thing that we're talking about. Usually you're thinking even up to a year away. So when you talk about like, hey, Deep Space Nine is coming. Well, Deep Space Nine's been being worked on for like a year and a half. Like the mechanic of Deep Space Nine, like the events and all those other things, well, those come closer to the release date. But in terms of the mechanics of how something works, well, that takes a long time in terms of going through their process. Good or bad, I'm just telling you how it works behind the scenes. So it's been a really good idea, and I think that we should continue to push that. How long does it take to get that changed? I mean, think about it this way. How long did I fight for bonus refineries? Some of y'all been here a long time. How long has Rev been fighting for consistent bonus refineries? And we finally got it, and thank God for Eco pushing for it and making it happen. How long has Rev pushed for bonus refineries? Now we finally got it, but look how long it took. How long it took. It did take too long, Chris, but we finally got it. I'm happy about it. Speaking of bonus refinery, I have not pulled mine this morning, and let me go do that. It worked 18 months on DS9 Art, so we can expect it to work. But chill out. So when it comes to creating content, whether it be, Alliance star bases or new ships or stuff like that, these happen and start getting planned and put on sketchboards well in advance. Like they didn't create the Enterprise D in like 3 months. It's a long time to go through all that process. Where you want to call it red tape or whatever. It does not move quickly. It is a tortoise. Oh my goodness. I've been getting more uncommon pulls from my regular pulls than when the bonus refinery this go around. So that just feels, the simple answer is because they improved the loot table of the basic refinery. It can pull more than the bonus refinery can. It did not improve the loot table to the bonus refinery yet. I did bring this up to them. They are currently discussing increasing the bonus refinery itself, but that is why. That's right. Oh my goodness, I forgot to go mine crystal. Son of a biscuit eater. I gotta go do that. Got to go do that. Oh, I'm not gonna pull a 1 million. Not gonna pull a 1 million. Not at my level. Not as a 42. Not as a 42 with that loot table. But we got to go get some more mining in. My golly, Miss Molly. My golly, Miss Molly. Will DS9 bring about 6-star ships? So, Steven, if that were the case, I wouldn't be allowed to tell you. You just have to wait and see. I would say that I don't think that 5-star has been out long enough, but that's my personal opinion. We'll see what happens. Rather than actual feature/mechanic, how about reorganizing the inventory so the useful stuff isn't lumped into miscellaneous, like a factions tab of the inventory with credits, etc. So whether it's mechanics or not, you still need game design to do that. So whether it's a new mechanic that creates it or whether it's reorganizing things, it's still game design. Is crystal really used for that much? Oh yeah, nothing at all. Nothing uses crystal. You're good. You're okay. Sometimes I get the feeling all that useless stuff in my inventory is causing game lag. It actually is. Believe it or not, it actually does contribute to game lag. So it's one of the reasons that we push to get it fixed. It does contribute to game lag. They changed the 4-star gas node amounts per node? No. If they have, I am completely aloof to any changes. Hope they had the Vengeance one day, so Saboteur. I've shared this before, but they actually did start working on the USS Vengeance from the Kelvin movies. They never finished it because they ended up getting rights to like the TV shows and everything else. They actually did start working on a rendering for that. And yeah, see where that goes. Do you feel DS9 will be a game changer? Oh, for sure. For sure. Yes. Whether it's a game changer y'all like, well, I guess that y'all will just have to determine that when you see it. But there is game changing stuff potentially happening if DS9 comes around. Why are all my archive missions becoming unarchived every time I load game? That is an error slash all I can really say. Am I excited about DS9? I'm excited for DS9 as a whole. And what I mean by that is once DS9 is complete and you have all of DS9 together, I think it's going to be a very, very good arc. Because it is not a, probably shouldn't say this, because it's not a 2-month arc. There's some spacing in how things, I'm trying to say things without saying things. Because it's not going to be 2 months, you're spacing things out. You're going to release things in stages. Time frame there, I think as a whole, potential for great epicness, amazingness. So yes, I am very excited about Deep Space Nine, but the first month, some of the things that come out might make you go, like, I'm not saying you'll dislike them, but you'll go, you give it like a confused look. But once you see everything as a whole, you'll be like, whoa, that was cool. That's what I'm seeing, and that's what I've seen so far when I've worked with them. So don't expect like this 2-month where a bunch of stuff gets shoved together. I'm hinting too much. So the depth that this can have is good because it means more engagement, better story, and some things that you've never seen before coming to the game. So. Will there be things in Arc 1 for light spenders and free to play? Yes, I can go ahead and tell you that. Yes, there will. Yes. In my opinion, they eventually need to centralize the faction missions into holodeck in order to not have to search each system for them. I figured that was a thought, but it hasn't happened yet. I am curious when they're going to circle back to the holodeck because I do feel like there's some key elements kind of being forgotten and need to be updated. There, I agree with you. Slow burn arc? Yes and no, Jeremiah. Yes and no. Like I said, I can't give out too much because we're not there yet. But yes and no in terms of slow burn. Yes and no. More stuff than the last Strange New Worlds arc? Oh, yeah. DS9's got a lot more in it than Strange New Worlds did. And Strange New Worlds just felt rushed. Like Strange New Worlds felt like that Paramount said, hey, you make this, but get no information. That's not the case with Deep Space Nine. Not the case with Deep Space Nine. But I think hopefully by the end of Deep Space Nine, you will look at everything that came out and go, this was great. But if you do it month by month, you might go, well, this is like, I'm confused. Why did we do it this way, etc. Tedious and boring month by month. After an overall arc progress occurs, there will be better thoughts. With this knowledge, is there an ops level at which you should be at that you can for this arc flow? I don't have a level range for you. I would say that in general, the game is pushing more and more players into the 40s intentionally. So if you're at that 39 type range, you're in a good spot. Will they have the Cardassian Union as a faction? I can't answer that question. I honestly don't know if they will or not. Without saying too much about their abilities, which DS9 officer are you looking forward to having in the game most? How about I'll just answer it from the ones I enjoy the most in the show. The ones I enjoy the most in the show, Chief O'Brien, Cisco, Ducat, Garrick, those characters I enjoy the most. And those are the ones I want to see. In terms of like DS9 cast that you know are going to get released because they're part of the main character list, then, you know, O'Brien's up there. Oh, he's always been one of my favorites. And even though I never really picked him as like my favorite engineer, he's one of my favorite Star Trek characters. You know, Dax is a big one there. You know, there's two Daxes obviously, and I'm curious, do they go both Dax or they just go one Dax? How do they do it? You know, I'm real curious about that, but we'll just have to wait and see. What class of base station is DS9 considered? So DS9, D Space Nine is actually a Bajoran station that was captured after the occupation ended of Bajor. So the Cardassians had built D Space Nine, you know, Terra Ignore as mining stations, and then it became a Bajoran station. So that's the type of base station. It is a Bajoran station that the Federation has rights to not only dock at, but to run. Jem'Hadar and Dominion being the DS9 art part 3. Have to wait and see. Have to wait and see. Obviously, the Dominion are a core part of Deep Space Nine, but we'll have to wait and see if they are included. Mining station, that could be terrible for us. I guess that's true too. Dax character pictures should just be a worm. Yikes. I know where you're coming from there, but yikes. Speaking as if you don't know anything about it, if the Defiant comes out, what ship type would you think they would make it? So the Defiant has to be an interceptor class, right? Like the Defiant in the show is an interceptor warship. It is not an explorer ship. It is a warship, but it is not a battleship. The Defiant's got to be an interceptor. To not make it an interceptor is silly. Just like the Rotaran is an interceptor. It's got to be an interceptor. Got to be. I mean, if they don't, like if they made it into an explorer or something, it just wouldn't sit right with me. It wouldn't sit right as a battleship either, because it's not a battleship. I mean, even if you look at its armament, like the Defiant has like this mythos built around it because it was the main ship of Deep Space Nine. Like the Defiant was not stronger than a Galaxy class warship. Its weapons arraignment, everything, I mean, limited torpedo tubes, pulse phasers, I mean, it's an interceptor. I mean, Deep Space Nine made it look better than it is, but if you really want to see how strong the Defiant is, go watch it get its butt kicked by Borg Cube in First Contact. It's a great ship, but it's not a battleship. It's an interceptor. It says its class is an escort ship. She is overgunned and overpowered for a ship its size. She has teeth. Those are Cisco's words, and that's an interceptor. Yeah, it packed a massive punch for its size. Like, it wasn't going against a Sovereign class warship, which the Sovereign class was a mix of designed to fight the Borg, but still creature comforts of the Federation. It ain't touching a Sovereign class ship. Is it technically a battleship according to Star Trek? No, it's not. It's an escort ship. It was designed as a small, capable warship to fight the Borg. It is one of the few Federation ship designs that is completely dedicated to fighting. And that's why you can call it. So if you remember, for those who've been in Star Trek Fleet Command for a long time, you remember interceptors used to be called destroyers. That was their class, and it became interceptor. That's pretty close to what the Defiant is. It's a destroyer class ship. It's not a battleship. It's not a big beefy can take on everything. It's somewhere in that middle range between a small scout and a big battleship. It's an interceptor. It's a destroyer. Let's hope the Defiant isn't a special ship. We got too many in the game. Yeah, we were actually going over that with Eco and just talking like, look, man, you just got between level like 18 and 32, you've got 8 specialty ships. It's ridiculous. What we need is a new class, escorts. Pause. This is Scopely, who makes galaxy-sized board cubes so they could easily do something dumb and make the Defiant and Explorer battleship. Fair enough. I can't argue that logic. I honestly can't. Can't argue it. It's either special ship or here we go, level 70. Be careful what you wish for. I guess technically they could make it level 60 and not have to make it bigger, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. I get my grind on. Gotta get my rep grind on because I'm getting ready to level up. Level up. Honestly, I wish I had like an intern that would just do my rep grinding for me. Anybody else out there just hate the rep grind? It's so ridiculous. Hate it. I don't mean to break the flow of D Space 9. However, what stage do you think you need G4 miners? Level 45, 46? You really don't need them as an early player. Like if you're level 42 like I am, your G3 miners get to all the nodes you need in Deep Space. You're not having to spend all those resources on the miners themselves, and you can use that to upgrade your buildings. You know, Sam says never. I really am not a big fan of them. I think that you got too many ships that have great warp range, the Fuchsia, the Amalgam, all these special ships, where you can relocate and mine with 3 stars. Do it if you pay me. Well, technically that would break terms of service and get me banned, so it's not worth it, but I appreciate the offer. Wasn't Janeway's ship a science vessel? It was, yes. So Janeway's ship, it's an Intrepid class, and it is a explorer. It's an explorer. Kind of has to be a special ship because every other ship is a faction ship. I hope not, because it's obviously a Federation ship. Like, that's the problem with special ships. Like, if something's an obvious faction ship, how do you make it into, like, how do you do that? That's one of the issues I have with the Sarcophagus. Sarcophagus is a Klingon ship, but in this game it doesn't count as a Klingon ship. It really bugs me. It is a Klingon ship. Anyway. And just real quick, they used to do that. If y'all remember, really old school fans here of Star Trek Fleet Command, the jellyfish, the baby jellyfish, is classed as a Federation ship. The Federation, or the jellyfish is classed as a Federation ship. But the Franklin is not classed as a Federation ship in the game. Make it make sense, please. Make it make sense. Paulo says Sarcophagus is not from the STFC timeline, so he's not Klingon. Actually, that's not true, because the Sarcophagus takes place before the original series, meaning it's actually before the events of the Kelvin timeline. It's right around the same. So technically, Discovery should be part of the Kelvin timeline. I know it's confusing, but technically the Franklin was pre-Federation. I think so. I'd have to go back and look at the memory alpha. I think it was still part of the United Earth Fleet or whatever you called it. But anyway, here's the logic. If they can make a ship for all 3 factions, then any new ship introduced would be a special ship. Sure. Look, I'm also one of those people that thinks that I think they should release new ships for existing levels. Like, I think that there should be 3 new faction ships at level 34. We need shuttles that let us transfer crew or resources. Yeah, that's been requested for about 4 years. About 4 years. Hold on, I gotta answer DJ real quick. He's needing help with something. Uno momento, por favor. USS Franklin NX 326 was the 22nd century. That means we made it like 100 years from now. Really? All right. More review of Star Trek lore later. Go for Memory Alpha. I mean, I'm not calling them wrong. I'm just saying, like, really? Yeah. When they release a new ship, do they automatically increase your ship inventory capacity? They do not, Todd. Your ship inventory capacity is determined by a building called, if I remember the name, by a building called the Hangar. And that is something that I think they need to increase. Scopely math got me messed up. Facts. Facts. They need to increase. By the way, this alone makes flash passes good, in my opinion. That alone makes flash passes good. More rods. I've not seen the starting of season 3 for Lower Decks, no. So be careful with your spoilers. Be careful with your spoilers. As in, don't drop spoilers. What do you spend your away team credits on? Rep and ship VPs. Depends on where I'm at and what I'm doing. Like right now, I've been trying to work on my rogue rep and get my rogue rep a little bit better. So I'll use it for the first. Thank you for the reminder, by the way. Use it for the first one. But you see, I've got, well, I think you can't see, but I've got 237,000 saved up. And I'll use it on like the Katinga and the Pylum when they become available in here. I just got to keep my grind on. Got to get my grind on. Star Trek was in the 20th century, so 200 plus years. Yeah, I mean, that's when Star Trek was made. But First Contact is... What's First Contact? Like 41 years from now? And when First Contact's supposed to happen? I think, isn't it 2063? When's First Contact Star Trek? First Contact in Star Trek is April 5th, 2063. Yep. So we are 41 years away. First Contact. 41 years away. Hopefully I'm still alive then. I can witness First Contact actually happen. Be nice. It would be nice. Actually be nice if it happened before then. Personally, Vulcans, can you come in and swing on by while I'm still in my 30s? 10 years away from World War III. I mean, Phil, not gonna lie, the way things are going, plausible. Plausible. Let's move to Bozeman, Montana. I actually might be the safest place to avoid World War III confirmed. Maybe. You should go to Seoul and hit the normal trader. The loot BP and rep is there is better. Yeah, but I can't grind near as many, Ming. So the rep ends up not being better. There's actually, I don't know if y'all noticed this, they added a rep calculation to Spock's Club. Spock's Club. It's pretty dope. Pretty dope. Yeah, thankfully we've passed Judgment Day by a lot. Yeah, we made it past Judgment Day. For a lot of players, those rod pieces will get them their first Treasury unlock. This is true. I'm excited for them, and hopefully this month's Treasury is pretty good value. Now keep in mind, if you're a pure free-to-play player, like you've never spent a dime, you're going to get a $5 Treasury, and you're probably not going to get too excited about it. But we've seen some of the Treasuries, even at $5, have a good number of officer shards in them. So. For those who spend on packs, what's your current multi-phasic credit spending recommendation? The Syndicate XP, and it's honestly been the Syndicate XP since basically the beginning. Any idea if there'll be a battle log export for mobile devices? The SITREP is something I've discussed with them. They said it is something they're looking into. They didn't give a timetable on when it would be released. All right, let's do our Mayflower. Heck yeah, scrapped a Mayflower and look at all the goodies I got. I really need that rare refined ore, and I definitely need the uncommon. So, thank you, Pegasus. I see it. I'm just trying not to check my DMs during the stream. I check them after. Assuming that officer sourcing is as approved as DJ hypes it to be, when are they going to source independent credits? Well, I can't speak to the independent credits, but I can tell you that I know all about the sourcing. I like it. Maybe give some advice on defense of your station during incursions. Yeah, move to systems level 1 through 19 and put a shield up. I do want to add, if you want to get even deeper into that, if you want to do base defense, you can use the bold base defense strategy. But if you have strike team Una, strange tuna works in base defense. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Honestly, the $5 Treasury is still pretty good. When it has officer shards, there's usually only slightly less shards in the current Flashpass. Yeah. 100% accurate. When they, like the month that they did Tindy in the pass or in the Treasury, that was a great month to turn in your Treasury. Any idea on when or if you'll be able to play STFC on Mac or MacBook? Sorry, Jason. No, I've actually been asking that for well over a year. And I think the honest answer is there's just not enough people who have that and do that for them to put a lot of time into it. I think that's the honest answer. I know everybody's going to come back with me of how simple it is, just activate it to work and blah, 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 blah. I've been asking for a year and a half, and so far, nothing. So far, nothing. What's this? I will read that after. Strange tuna crew on a battleship and then Crass Harris on a high hell survey. Yeah, that's strong. And you can still do a couple other things other places. You can play it on BlueStacks. Yeah, but BlueStacks is an emulator, and emulators can be problematic. So, do you think it'd be worth saving the Treasury for the next event store? Huh? What do the two have to do with each other? What prime do you get? So the first 5 primes I get, you pick which ones are more important to you. Prime officers, Stella efficiency, prime ore, prime gas, prime crystal. Those are the first 5 I go for. Those are the first. Thank you, Todd, for hanging out. We will be live again tonight, by the way, on Twitch. We'll be live again tonight on Twitch if y'all want to come stop by. We might be playing War Thunder, but we'll still be talking Star Trek Fleet Command, and I'm probably going to give out a Star Trek hint during the War Thunder stream. So that's a possibility, and just keep your eye out for that. And Strange Tuna on a sarcophagus makes it to where the sarcophagus now beats 3-star epics without being on a node, and that's kind of annoying. Bothers me that the base defense set up is called the bold defense. Why isn't it called Z's corner defense? He published his video on it. It's called that because of the person who invented it in his PDF file, and that's what me and DJ got in referenced for the video. So that's why. Any idea why they got rid of the ability to export multiple battle logs? Nope. And don't worry, June Bree has been complaining incessantly about it, and rightly so. They need to bring that back. It has made log exporting far more difficult. Months ago, we got prime officers to an oopsie. What prime would you suggest as a substitute if we already have prime officers? I honestly can't think off the top of my head. I have to go back and recheck what they all require. I need to reset this node real quick, though. I don't have all the prime cost in my head. Oh, come on. Ugh, stupid game. Thank you for the stream and all your support. Again, love the video from this morning, of course, stream. Well, thank you, MoFlo. I greatly appreciate it. I appreciate everybody who watches the video, likes. If you're here right now, by the way, 385, hit the like button. All of that helps. I thank y'all for supporting my family. Hit the subscribe button, follow on Twitch, have fun, etc. Y'all are just amazing people. I hope y'all know that. I hope y'all know that. I really do. I'm being serious. I really hope y'all know how important you are. If they did make a Rev Deuce officer, it would be funny if the sarcophagus specific. Oh my gosh, Chris, you hate me, but I love you. Bold Defense is named that because the Creators Alliance tag is bold. Thank you, Travis. Thank you. I got a discovery from the event store. Yay. What do I do with it now? Start working on maxing it. Simple answer. Every Sunday, you have an event called Anomalous Phenomenon, which allows you to start getting your weekly pulls. Technically, you can do it every day if you did smaller amounts, but you get 5 days worth of pulls that you'll pull in the refinery, and then you'll have your discovery recruit. That's the wrong one. Wait, no, that's the right one. Why are they confusing me? All right, yeah. Discovery recruit. You'll pull this every day, and it'll give you parts and officers and goodies, and there you go. So that you are now going to start on your process to get it maxed so that you can have summoning and do all the fun things with that. Get Prime Officer, scrap a Legionary instead of a Mayflower, and get Prime Rogue credits as well as cell efficiency and the 2 3-star refines. Agreed. Agreed. Yes. Wouldn't it be great if Scopely added the movie First Contact Strike Team for Explorers? That could be cool. I do really, and I've talked about this before, I really want the game to explore the movies. Wrath of Khan is the greatest Star Trek movie of all time and one of the best sci-fi movies of all time because of how it uses submarine type tactics for its space battle, making it into a three-dimensional, utilizing the Z-axis is just mind-blowingly cool and so far ahead of its time comparatively. I wish they would start exploring more of that in this game, and hopefully they do in the future, start exploring the movies and utilizing those IPs that weren't just the Kelvin timeline. I mean, I cannot wait till there's a Wrath of Khan run in this game. Ricardo Montacon, please come down. Please come down. Hey, 5 Badgie and 5 Mariner. I'll take that. That's a nice pull. That's a nice pull. I'll take that all day, every day. Best way to get rep with Romulans, grinding Tycho Core. I mean, honestly, Tycho Core is a pretty daggum good answer. If you're really trying to go Romulans, though, getting into a little bit deeper area of Federation space is the better de facto tactic, but you lose Klingon rep. What's up with the health donation bar? You okay? We'll find out if I'm okay. Got 3 doctor's appointments in the next 30-ish days. Give us a Voyager and a Lower Decks movie. I can take Lower Decks. The Voyager one, we can just grind in Groombridge. Groombridge is good. If you're level 38 or higher and you can make it into low deep space for feds, that's better. Soul system, if you've got a high end, like Augur, Enterprise, etc., PMC, you can grind in Soul. Rich Corinthian leather. I actually do catch that joke. I actually get it. I know that one. I understood that reference. Does Stuna get a bump with Pipe Moreau while in base defense? To be honest, I haven't tested that yet. But I will tell you that she'll give you, in 4 rounds, your enemy ship will have shields won't matter. Where do you think they'll take Prodigy? Not sure. I've gotten to speak to one of the writers of Prodigy and thought the first season was fantastic for what it's designed to be. And I'm hopeful that it continues. And I hope that when more kids see on Nickelodeon, it really pops off because need more kids to really find Star Trek. What tier Augur would you say you need to grind in Soul? Minimum, probably tier 5 at the minimum, but preferably somewhere in the 7th or 9 range. Meme says the tuna works with Pipe Moreau. Nice. So that means that in round 1, she takes away shields forever. Yay. And that OP. That OP. A T5 minimum. Keep in mind that research matters in that argument. Like, if you've got a T5 Augur, but your battleship research is completely trash, then you're not going to do very well. Strike Team Una is better than Harrison? Yeah, for sure. For shizzle. My nizzle. My thought was first round Harrison to bypass shields and have, or your thought was have Tuna high enough to have all shields gone by round 2. Yeah, that's the logic. What do I get for scrapping a maxed Legionary? 1 second. Uno momento, por favor. I'll tell you everything that you get. I'll tell you everything because I don't have all of them memorized. Obviously, it's 4-star materials. But if you were to scrap a maxed Legionary, keep in mind that you need to scrap it at level 45. In return, you will receive 8,000 4-star uncommon battleship parts. You will receive 2,965 4-star uncommon refined ore. You will receive 1,597 4-star uncommon refined crystal, 466 4-star rare ore, 251 4-star rare crystal, as well as 52 million titanium, 3.4 million dilithium, 51,000 ship XP, and then some commons, like 100,000 common battleship parts for 4-star. That's what you get for scrapping a maxed Legionary. Hey Alpha, just finished listening to your Twitch stream that you chatted with DJ Nico. It was very informative and awesome to hear. Sorry about all the chicken blasting at the beginning though. No, it was okay, man. It was good. It was a lot, but you know what? The chicken dances help pay for my children's food, so I can't complain. Thoughts on baby jelly for base defense? What do you mean thoughts? You've seen the video, Usay. You already know. You already know. At Ops 46, I favor scrapping salad instead of Mayflowers for the amounts of G4 I need. That's fair. It's not as efficient, but it is quicker. It's not as efficient, but it is quicker, Darius. Yeah, it's not more efficient, but it is quicker. Best way to get 3-star rare gas, events, refinery, scrapping Tauruses. Scrapping those 2-star ships. Upgrade my shipyard soon to 35. I'm going to scrap my level 45 Franklin after. Any ideas for crews for Franklin A? So the best Franklin A swarm grinding crew is Strange New World Pike, Strange New World Spock, Jayla. Not sure if you have all those. Jean-Paul, when it comes to ship scrapping, the honest answer is you need to devote yourself to grinding a crap ton or using latinum. Grinding a crap ton or using latinum. Do you have your hat turned around because the blue screen messes with the bill? No. No. Like this is gray. This one's just gray. I just happen to be wearing it backwards today. I know y'all aren't used to that, but it's just random rev. Bold defense is a good chance for Scopa to sell baby jellies. I wouldn't buy a baby jelly just for that, to be honest with you. I mean, I guess if y'all really want to do that, that's fine. I'm always just going to shield my base. That's just personal opinion. I do enjoy live base defense, but yeah, I'm just going to do that. Finish my baby jelly with the event store. Nice, Max. Very nice. Very nice. Had my best results with Spike, Spock, Talon on my tier 1 Frank A. Okay. Pipe Moreau Talon for swarms if you don't have the other crew. Yes. Yes. Or Pipe Moreau Jayla if you don't have the other crew. If you have Jayla. I realize that not a lot of people have Jayla, but that's the la meta. That's la meta. 51 epic. I can't come out there. My goodness. Look at that. 4.85. Can't make it. Can't make it. Ah. 5 short on Jayla. Well, I don't recommend doing the swarm modders, but I will say this. If you've got some rare directives laying around, the person who launches a swarm armada, if y'all win, has a chance to get Jayla shards. That is a source and they have for them. Always says, what are the best ways to donate to our favorite content creators? So, appreciate you asking. I try not to be that guy that pushes it, but as many of you know, content creators like myself require or live off y'all being generous and donating. So it's greatly appreciated. I have PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. I also have a Patreon page. You can buy stuff off my Amazon wish list. If you want to buy something specifically like, hey, I don't want you to get it, but I'll buy your kids stuff and whatever, all of it can be set up and all of it is greatly appreciated. $5, $10, or if you're feeling extra benevolent, $5 million will cover everything that I need for the foreseeable future. If you just got it laying around, I'm just saying, I'm not saying I deserve it, but if you just happen to have it, I'd appreciate it. You start making more videos aimed at mid-40s players as much as the player base is moving up. I try to do a mix of that already, Slugger. The problem is the bell curve is basically 35 through 45 now, so I'm right in the middle. So while some of my people who've been following me for a while are leveling out some of the videos to an extent, most of the game is still below me, and that's the tricky part that I'm in. Most of the game is still below where I'm at. And it's just trying to find that balance, because I also don't want to put out like 2 or 3 videos a day. So I will be leveling up to 44 pretty quickly. I'm already heading to 43, as y'all can see right now. So you said 42. How do I get the 10 extra warp range? Mission or research? Something else? So it is a mission that you need to complete called Angel in Disguise, John. I actually have that mission as a video. If you go to my YouTube channel and search Angel in Disguise. It will break down everything you need to find that mission and what it gives you when you complete it. Will Monopoly money work with that 5 million? Sadly, no. Sadly. But if you have $5 million worth of gold, you can send me that. Any moment from Scopely to improve the 4-star Armada packs, they're a joke. We are trying desperately hard. Slugger. The VIPs and content creators and moderators have all been griping about that since it happened, since they came out. And they've been trashed since then. Station SMS event in 3 hours, another 9 hours. Might as well get more ultras. I'm not going to rush it that quickly, but I'm going to save it for the next spin event, because when I do it, when I hit 43, I'm going to go ahead and speed through and go to 44. I've already got all the materials. I'll send you a check for that 5 million. I'll have to post date it 20 years though. Max, I'll be honest. If you really believe you'll have 5 million in 20 years, you bet your butt I'll keep that check and cash it on your butt. So don't you forget about it. Does it matter which level Swarm Armada? And does it have to be Franklin A, or is Valdor better? So your Franklin should do better for a Swarm Armada, but I mean your Valdor can work. No, it doesn't matter what level Swarm Armada. There's just about a 10 to 15% chance of the leader of a Swarm Armada, when they win, of getting Jayla shards. It's not great sourcing, but if you're that close and you want to go for it, I'm just letting you know that's available to you. TOS Scotty and Cadet Scotty with Grush is the Warp Range crew on Explorer. Correct, Kenny? Correct. Did somebody ask that? Somebody asked that, but yeah, you can get some pretty decent warp range. Because Grush is a percentage, you can't give it a definite, but you can get up to like plus 20. I mean, you can get more than that technically. Think that we'll ever get any higher level Borg drone systems? It's getting harder and harder to find high level hostiles to kill that are not faction ships. I'm not sure if you're aware, but up here, that's all this is. All that is up here in this Warp 200 space is random Borg hostiles. There's even specific research for fighting these hostiles, so there's no point in doing it. You don't get any special rewards for it. You don't get anything special for it. Without spoiling officer specifics, did the dev team seem receptive to having a free-to-play sourced officer next month instead of what happened this month where none of them were? Yes and no. The only thing that I can say is that sourcing this month will be a little different than a typical month. So we'll just have to see how it plays out. Not sure if you answered this yet, but did they change Strange Tuna free-to-play from the Ark? No, they're not. They have not. Sadly, no. Sadly, no. All right, y'all, we are hitting an hour and a half. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up because in 5 hours, I'll be live on Twitch. I am so happy that y'all hung out with me today. I hope you had a fantastic time here in the stream. I had a great time. I thought it was very informative. I thought this morning was a lot of fun, and hopefully y'all enjoyed it. All I'm going to say is live long and prosperous. Stay safe for those Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. We'll catch you on the next video, which will be tomorrow, and then the next stream will be tonight. And of course, I'm available in my Discord if you want to come hang out, ask questions, get anything you need. We will love to answer you there and hang out with you. And don't forget, there's also a Facebook page for all of you who still use Facebook year 2023. Appreciate everybody. Love y'all sincerely. Catch you on the next one. Bye.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.